Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm here with Coach Mike Jasnau, and today we're going to talk about picking up those tough spares that are not splits necessarily.
That's right. Here at Backstage Bowling, we made a list of the 5 most difficult spares for most bowlers. Not necessarily the pros, of course, but these are the 5 spares that I hear the most complaints about. So the first thing we want to do is describe the difference between a traditional spare and a split. By definition, a split is a situation in bowling in which the first ball of a frame knocks down the head pin but leaves 2 or more pins standing that are non-adjacent. Any pins left after the first ball of a frame that include the head pin would then be considered a spare, even if those pins left are non-adjacent. All right, so we're going to start at the bottom of the list with the 5th hardest spare, according to our list. And that would be the 2 corner pins, the 7 pin and the 10 pin. So you wouldn't think a single pin would be a hard spare. You can't chop it, right? But it is a little bit tougher because it's at the edge of the lane. You do have a width of a bowling ball, the width of a pin, and a width of another bowling ball to knock over a single pin usually, but on the corner with the gutter there, half the ball would be over the gutter. Makes it a little bit more difficult because technically you have a little bit less room. So another thing that makes those corner pins hard, especially the 10 pin for a right-hander or the 7 pin for a left-hander, is as you rotate the ball's hooking away from that pin. That's why for a right-hander, the 7 pin may be a little bit easier, and for a left-hander, the 10 pin may be easier. That being said, neither pin is really hard. They become hard when you let it get in your head. So my recommendation to have a better percentage to pick up those 2 corner pins, use the middle of the lane as your target, somewhere around that middle arrow, and then move your feet right or left side of the approach to change your angle. And always picture that ball path you want. Picture that line from the pin back to you and see where that crosses at your target. That's your ball path. All right, now coming in at number 4 on the hardest spares on our list would be a double wood. Anything that has a back pin right behind the front pin makes it way more complicated to pick up, lots more chances to miss it. So a double wood, we're talking a 2-8, a 3-9, or if you're really making an error for a shot, maybe even the 1-5, which is never an easy spare shot after you miss the head pin. So there are 2 ways to pick up the double wood. In my opinion, one has a little bit higher percentage, and that would be to hook into that spare if you can. So the 2-8, if you hit the right side of the 2 pin and your ball's going straight, it can deflect and you leave the 8. If you have some angle into the 2, you'll get that back pin as well. Now the other option is to throw plastic or even a resin ball and straighten out your wrist, throw dead straight. So if you decide to throw straight at double wood, you need some good accuracy because your room for error is a little bit less. All right, let's go to number 3 on the list. And this is a tricky one. It's called the bucket. For a right-hander, it's the 2, 4, 5, and 8. For the left-hander, it would be the 3, 5, 6, and 9. And yeah, it has a double wood in there, as you can see, but it's even harder because it has those two side pins, makes it easy to chop. So with 4 pins left, even though they're together, it's not easy. Lots of crap can happen, right? So there are a couple ways to miss it, several ways to miss it, but also several ways to make it. You can chop it and leave that 5 or the 4. You get the back pin, obviously, if you're too heavy on it. Or you can hit a little bit light, leave that back pin. It's very complicated. You also have 2 choices on how you want to pick it up. You can hook at it a little bit. You can throw it straight. Now, in my opinion, one of the best examples of picking up the bucket, especially under immense pressure, was Norm Duke at the US Open. He had to spare the bucket to win the US Open. Now Norm, he likes throwing straight at his spare, so he threw straight at it. Yeah, there's a little bit less room for error maybe, but he picked it up to win the US Open. How awesome is that? All right, let's go to number 2, the 2nd hardest spare for most people, and that would be the pesky 3, 6, 9, 10 for the right-hander, the 2, 4, 7, 8 as a left-hander. There's 4 pins, it includes that double wood, and there's even an extra side pin. Makes it kind of tricky. And what else makes this spare super hard is the lane condition. That invisible oil on the lane comes into play as well. All right, for that 3, 6, 9, 10 for the right-hander, you have 2 ways to go about picking that up as well. You can have a little hook at it. Got to get to the right of the 3 pin, have it hook in a little bit. That helps you get that back 9 pin out. but it's a tricky shot. The lane conditioner, if there's oil outside, it cannot hook enough. If you kind of grab it a little bit, it's going to hook too much. It's easy to chop. So again, a very tricky spare. So especially on a tougher lane condition, a lot of the higher level bowlers choose to go straight at it. Now they don't go straight down the boards at it. They stay on the left side of the approach, so they have a little angle going into it and straight. So try it both ways and see what works best for you. All right, everyone, are you ready for the hardest spare on our list? It's the washout. The 1, 2, 4, 10 for a right-hander, the 1, 3, 6, 7 for a left-hander. And the reason we made that the #1 toughest spare on our list is it has the biggest separation between that head pin and either corner pin. The other thing that makes this spare so hard is, in my opinion, I think there's more ways to miss it than to make it. You can hit the head pin too heavy and not quite get to the corner. You can hit the head pin too light and wrap it around. So yes, this is our toughest spare, that darn washout, right? But you do have two options to pick it up. Experiment with each option, see what's best for you. The first option would be to hook at that a little bit, hit the left side of the head pin to shoot that into the 10-pin side. Obviously for the left-hander, it'd be reversed. You shoot the right side of the head pin to shoot in the left side to the 7-pin. Now the other option is to throw straight at it, kind of like we talked about with that 3, 6, 9, 10, throwing straight with a little angle. Hit the left side of the head pin just playing straight, but that's why that's our #1 toughest spare, the washout. More people miss it than make it. So another variation on that washout is when you add the 6-pin for the right-hander or the 4-pin for the left-hander. So then it's a 5-count washout, sometimes referred to as a super washout or a PBA washout. Some people think it's easier, some people think it's harder. We don't know, huh? It's up to you. But there are two ways to pick it up. You can either hit the left side of the head pin for the right-hander and shoot that head pin into the 6-10, or I think the higher percentage plays go in between that 1 and 6, shoot like a little baby split, and that usually can help you pick that spare up. All right, everyone, that's our top 5 toughest spare list. We hope some of the tips we gave you today will help you pick some of those up better, and let us know, did we name your 5 toughest spares, or do you have something that you think is harder? Remember, it's not a split, it's a spare. Drop the comments below. We hope you liked the video. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our video today. Hopefully you learned something you can apply to your game. Do us a favor, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Also, if you'd like to get backstage access to our coaches, you can join our online community at BackstageBowling.com. Use the coupon code SAVE20 to save $20 off an annual subscription. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.